Come in, folks, and let's close the door. I'm just going to talk very briefly about how it is up there for anybody who hasn't been. We're going to be on a private ranch. It's very remote. There are no signs of life apart from the stuff that we've put there. Don't imagine you're going to go up there and it's going to be like wandering around in the park, because it isn't.
To get from the main road to the location that we built the set was also a bit of an ordeal. Really felt less like 2 miles of road and more like 2 miles of potholes strung together with some dirt.
I've never been to this part of Canada before, and it's absolutely spectacular country, and the whole drive in is kind of awe-inspiring.
I really think that this part of the countryside is one of the most extraordinary and beautiful places I've ever been. Like, just this incredible valley in between these mountains, and everything's completely green and lush, and there's like fruit and cherries and everything growing. And it's so beautiful.
I'm always really impressed by the movie magic that goes on, and when they create an entire town like they have here, it's just so amazing to me.
See anything that concerns you in any way, say something. It's day one. I'd like to get right through the end of this movie with the same amount of people. Any safety issues anybody has? Anybody have any questions? Nope. Good. Thanks, folks. Blocking's up. Okay, Helpy, let's bring them into the blocking.
Our goal in this film is to capture visually and in our story and in with the way we're putting costumes on people, we want to make it look like a classic Western. We were trying to capture those elements, cinematic elements, so that we could then kind of play with the story and make it funny.
We're sort of shooting it in style which is a bit more like an older Western, which tends to rely on slightly wider shots, not a lot of close-ups.
A lot of the shots have been designed beforehand, that there are certain things we wanted to capture in a certain way. And there are also moments on the day that you want to be open to. You don't want to get locked into storyboards or shot lists. Things change, circumstances change, lines change, you're not in the environment you thought you were going to be in. But occasionally, there are no compromises, that it's exactly like you imagined it would be.
That's pretty spectacular, right?
Yeah.
It was really important to have someone with a really significant presence to play the Montana Kid. And Paul embodied that Clint Eastwood bigness.
Paul is, an icon in Canadian cinema, and it seemed kind of a fun way of starting off the process by casting him as, the one American in this town.
Jack says to tell you he can't oblige. He's got no gun.
He's a liar.
He's not. The man's an ironsmith. And he's right. You stink.
Sienna has a tremendous personality. She's very smart, she's a bit sassy, and she's strong-willed, but she's also a lot of fun. And she's got a great big heart, and those are all things that I think Jane has.
When I was reading it, I was thinking, yeah, I could probably spend time with her. I think she'd be fun.
The cool thing about Kent is that he's this ambitious young officer who's trying really hard to be a man, but it's quite clear to everyone, I think, but him, that he is far from being a man. I don't know why they cast me in that role.
Aren't you looking right regal? It's a particular breed of man who carry off an outfit like that. Huh. It just made me laugh. He was in a red uniform, dressed up as a Mountie. He looked even more like a Mountie than I did when I was a Mountie. I think he was sort of more perfect.
Just a glimmer of jealousy in his eye when he saw me and how well I fill out this uniform.
It just made me laugh. I pitied him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the uniform, or you know what? He was jealous of the mustache. My bad.
How goes the repairs on that old Patterson?
It's coming along just fine, Jack.
We wrote a very difficult character in Jack, in that he had to be a big man. He had to be an imposing presence, but not mean. And he had to be dangerous without having a weapon. And he had to be, larger than life. And Tyler Mane is certainly larger than life.
He's huge. He's Atlas. When he leaves the set, he goes home and he holds the planet up.
When I had an opportunity to be part of a Western,
And to be the guy that gets into a gunfight, you have to say yes, right?
Pull your weapon.
It's kind of nice to play the misunderstood good guy. So it's very interesting. It's a great role.
Horses and guns. That's bad.
Who is it? Do you know them?
Been the ear-trotter, bounty hunter, murderer, tenacious bastard. Surprised you haven't read about him in Canadian Monthly.
He's a bit of a crazy, angry maniac.
Where is he? Spit it out!
His role is to create a sense of tension, that somebody is pursuing the Montana kid, and that there's something about the man that is dangerous. But there was this glint of fun in his eye the whole time, which made the character really shine.
You get to sort of free rein to do a bunch of things, and it can be funny and goofy and weird and heavy and dark, and I don't know, I've always enjoyed it.
We had this idea that maybe he had been shot, that he'd lost a big chunk of his ear in a gunfight of some sort. So that became, a real key to his character.
We were able to actually tuck his earlobe up into his ear cavity and keep it there with adhesive. Then we were able to apply the prosthetic piece over that. So what it looks like then is that the bottom of his ear was shot off.
It hasn't been too uncomfortable, though it does create a kind of dullness and a bit of unbalance, which is fine for Ben Cutter.
Did I mention the dust?
It gets everywhere. In your eyes, and in your ears, and down your top, and up your bum, and everywhere. You just get covered in this layer of grime.
We pull things out of our nose at the end of the day that just seem inconceivable that they could be in there, Like, oh my God, it's the map of Belize.
It shut production down a couple of times. It's been wild.
When the twister comes, it's like the whole town gets swept up in this sandstorm.
I saw a house fly by with a girl and a little dog.
She have red shoes? Huh? I know that girl. Red shoes?
I understand why cowboys wear bandanas now.
They're not for show. When there's a dust storm and you're sitting under, blazing sun all day long, you need it to survive.
Nothing like getting a mouthful of dust and dirt all over you at the end of the day to feel like you're in the Old West.
You wanted to do a Western.